So here's the problem with traditional success coaching, you could say, that you have to ask yourself, what do I really want? And then you have to pursue that. And then you can find strategies and methods, ways of getting there so you can get there. But the problem is, as soon as you ask yourself, what do I want? You often put a goal in front of you that seems out of your reach. Like a dream, right? I have a dream. But most people's dreams actually make them not do anything rather than the opposite. Because you don't believe you can get there. Oh, sure I do. No, you don't. If it's really a dream, if it's an ambitious goal, you do not believe you can get there. You might feel like it sometimes because you read that book, listened to that audio program, saw that YouTube video, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I should, go there. But then pretty quickly, you're just overpowered by the mere fact that you don't believe it, truly, because you have no references for it, you have no proof. And that's very natural and very normal for the brain to not, if you don't have proof, then how the heck should I believe that I can get that? Believe in yourself. How do I do that? Right? Okay, is that a choice to believe in myself? Then when do you believe something? When you have proof. Why do you believe gravity? You can't see it. Because you have proof it's there. Everywhere, right? It's pretty obvious there's gravity, but it's invisible. It's a force of nature somehow, right? That's why you believe it. And then when we ask ourselves, you must believe in yourself, and you have a goal, and you visualize it, so you believe it even more. What are you talking about? Until you can see it come true, until you can see that, hey, I'm actually going to get there now, you won't believe it. You will be riddled with self-doubt all the way. All the way. So what do we do about that? Well, instead it's a cool thing to know that you have a destination, right? That will be cool. But what you really need to do is you need to find something that's exciting that you can achieve in the short term. Instead of saying, I want to be a millionaire or a billionaire, then what would $1,000, let's say $1,000 US, you can convert that to your own currency if you're not from the US. I'm not. But what would $1,000 of extra income in your hand do to what you could do with your life and your living standard? You see, that's a relatively small amount when you think about the goal of making $1 million or making $1 billion, right? So if you focus on that and saying, then suddenly, wow, that would mean a lot. I could do this, I could do that, I could travel more, I could say, or if I just put that money aside and live like I do now, I could have I could save like, that's $12,000 a year. That will, the interest on that over 5 years, that could, your mind can start, working with that, and it's much more achievable than the million. And suddenly you're closer to it, and that means it's easier to create the proof that you can actually do it by moving towards that point. That's why a faraway goal can be a hindrance more than it's a help, actually. And if you focus on something close to you that's achievable, what about $500, right? That's achievable. Then suddenly you can start saying, okay, what do I need to do to get there? What would be the first logical step? Well, I have no idea how to make more. Okay, I could get a raise. Right? Is there anybody who's making more than me in the same job? Well, there is. Then ask my boss how I get there. How do I get that raise so I can make that extra $1,000 a month? Does that even happen? If it does, then that's an easy way to get there, right? Okay, what else can I do? Well, I can have a business on the side. Well, maybe I want to do some research on what businesses are the easiest, the fastest to get a hold of, and start educating myself. That would be a first logical step, and then you do that. Then suddenly you have this cool project, and it's not far away. That's amazing. And if you really write down all what you would be able to do if you had that extra income on top of having paying all the bills like you do now, preferably, and and making a living like you're doing now, and then the extra, what would that do? That's something to get excited about, and it's real, and it can be real very quickly. And then you start educating yourself, and then you get all kinds of strategies as you look in your world to how to do that, how to get there. And then you believe it because you hear about other people who've done it and done much more than that, right? And you start getting some ideas of how that could be achieved, and you start pursuing those step by step. And that is the way to get there, right? And what we're really talking about here is, instead of trying to win the World Cup, you try to win the game that you're in. And you have to define that for yourself. What does winning the game mean? Because you are a game player by nature. So work your internal mechanisms here. What does winning the game mean? You go into a game, it's 90 minutes of football or soccer or whatever. And what would that mean? So you just set that up for yourself as a goal. Okay, winning the game would be to increase, winning the tournament perhaps is like, $1 million, whatever. But winning a game would be like 500 extra a month, right? Then what is scoring? Once you have that goal that's achievable, then what does scoring means? And you can educate yourself around that depending on the project you create to get there, right? It might be, if you want a raise, if that's an option for you, that you can make that happen by getting a raise, then you figure out what has to happen. How do I add more value at work? Should I ask my boss, okay, I want this raise, what do I need to do? How do I become that employee who can make, where you will say, okay, I'll gladly give you that raise. If you can do X, Y, C, then by all means, it's yours. Right? It might be as easy as that. But what do you then need to do every day to make that happen? And that becomes scoring a goal. What does that mean? It means that first thing every day, I do X, right? If it's another project entirely, it has nothing to do with money. Maybe it's losing weight. Maybe you're 50 pounds overweight. You want to lose the weight. What do you want to go for? What would losing just 5 pounds mean to you? Or 10 pounds? Well, that will mean that I've proven that I can do it. If I can lose 10 pounds or 5 pounds, I've found the recipe, right? And I could just keep doing that, right? That would be amazing. And I would have the satisfaction, the energy of knowing I can do it. So I would be all hopeful, and I would be confident, and I would, have more energy. And, maybe I could start teaching other people how to do it. Maybe I could, all these things start appearing. Then you move ahead. And you need to define, what does scoring mean? Now I know I want to lose 10 pounds, whatever it is, it's achievable. What does scoring mean? Well, it means getting up every day and eating a breakfast that looks exactly like this. It's a healthy breakfast. It's easy to make. I can totally do it. It's going for a run. I just put on my workout clothes. I run around the house, and that's enough. It's achievable. And then, 9 out of 10 times you'll run farther than that. So he set up an achievable range of goals that you can then score, right, during the day. And so you can go, yeah, every time you score. And that will, give you momentum in the process. And if you have a very achievable goal, you can go, I can totally do this. And if I can lose 5 pounds, of course I can lose 10. If I can lose 10, of course I can lose 20. If I can make $100 extra every month on my side business, of course I can make 200 and 400 and 800. Of course I can, right? So by having, instead of focusing on the whole tournament of playing 50 games with all kinds, then focus on winning the match, because that's exciting. We love that. We love going into a soccer game, right, or a football game, a team sport. Bam, it's exciting. For no reason, right? Once we know what winning is, we need to engage in these elements here. What is winning? And what is scoring? What are the rules here? What do I need to do? And then you set that up for yourself. I have a daily ritual that's going to lead me there. I'm going to educate myself. Read 30 minutes in the morning, whatever it is. You set that up, and then you make the system better and better. What is, so you can score even higher all the time and pursue those little goals during the day. Make sure to write it down, keep track of it, so you can feel good about it all the way. And you say, oh, this seems like a lot of work. No, it's exciting. That's what it is, right? Expanding your life. And just going for the proof that you can do it. That's exciting. Because once you have the proof, you build the confidence, you build the belief. Suddenly you have something to build your belief in yourself on, instead of saying, hey man, believe in yourself. How do I do that, right? Now you're building proof all the time. Proof after proof. So you build your confidence, your belief, and suddenly winning the match is going for the million. right? That's where you want to get to. Not because of the million even, but because of playing the game, right? You want to have that game where you know what you want, and you know how to score, you know what scoring means, so you can feel that enthusiasm that we feel when we play a game, which is the end and the means to what you want in the first place. Leave a comment if you feel like it, subscribe to this channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.